Hello friends, it's me, and today let's expose this hidden story, ARG story.
Hey there, friend. Welcome back to the neighborhood. Today we're going on an adventure. But first, we'll need supplies. Let's go to the store. Can you click on the equipment store? That's right. We need to go to the sporting goods store. Today, we're going on a hunting adventure, so we're gonna need to protect ourselves. What weapon should we bring?
Weapons?
I think we'll need something a bit bigger than that.
Why?
That's better. Look at that. We're ready to hunt. Where should we
What's
hide?
that?
Too cramped.
Why do you need height?
We can't hide back there.
I'm waiting for
What?
you in the closet. Sweet dreams.
Not bad!
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Game Theory.
Alright, that's kind of scary. Hello Internet, welcome to Game Theory.
Show that regrets the things it had to do to make this video.
No toy robots will hunt in the making of this video, or at least not the editing of it.
Tell me the lore and I won't.
I love you.
No! I'll never forget you, Blabbot!
Your sacrifice shall not be in vain, because today we're gonna figure out what's going on with the internet's own version of Dora the Explorer, Amanda the Adventurer. You might remember last year when we theorized about this little game. It was developed as part of a game jam, and as a result was simple in its approach. You put different VHS tapes into VCRs, all acronyms that I'm sure you Zoomers understand. And we
Yes, that's right, ARG game, so...
answered questions posed by the lead character Amanda. By feeding her the wrong answers, Amanda would get angrier and more chaotic, eventually losing control and becoming a monster. The internet fell in love with this thing, and since then, it has gone through a major glow up. Gone is the tiny living room, gone is being stuck staring at a TV screen, and gone are all the demonic drawings on the wall.
I wonder if we step further back if we'll see. Oh, whoa! Oh, this is so different. Oh, they went hard on this new update. This is great.
Instead, the full-length version of the game has us in an attic full of clever puzzles and old memorabilia that has a weird habit of appearing behind us when we finish a tape.
Whoa, hey, there's a cake.
But the best thing to come out as part of the full-length version of the game, lore. Now,
The lore!
not only are there a bunch more tapes to watch through, there are secret tapes and multiple endings to find, and all of them paint a fascinating new story here. So, was my old theory right, or is there more hiding beneath the surface? Insert the tape, press play, and adjust your tracking, my friends. It's time to begin. In this new update, we play as Riley, and that's about all we get to know about that character. Well,
Okay.
that and the fact that they just inherited this house that we're standing in from their deceased aunt, Kate. However, Kate warns us that if we choose to investigate the attic and the tapes that lay within, there's no going back. Alongside this note's a conspiracy board full of post-its and newspaper clippings, which means that Kate and I, you could ship it. The main focus of the board at the beginning of the game is a letter from a woman named Joanne talking about her missing younger brother. The letter says that he used to watch the Amanda the Adventurer show a bunch as a kid, but would end up in a trance-like state. Eventually, he would disappear without a trace. Joanne then asks Kate to investigate, which seems like an odd request for your local librarian. Then again, if you look around the corkboard, you could start to see why Kate may have been the one picked for the job. We see that she was
Why?
looking into the kids' school records, something a librarian might have access to. We also see a note that mentions dynakinesis, which is the supernatural ability to create and manipulate energy. She says that you would see sigils if such a transfer occurred, and right next to this note is a torn piece of paper with a bunch of sigils on them.
Yep, definitely not sus.
These aren't just any symbols either, these are alchemical symbols that refer to specific elements. Back in the day, alchemists focused on the transmutation of base metals like lead into noble metals like gold. Clearly, Aunt Kate ain't your average librarian. Too bad she's gone now, and it's up to us to figure out what's going on with this missing kid. Or should I say kids? Because it becomes very quickly apparent that this is not an isolated incident. The tape in the neighborhood shows outlines of kids on both sides of the street. Police chalk outlines that are usually reserved for dead people lying on the pavement. If you manage to find the corrupted version of this exact tape, Amanda's sheep companion Wooly asks if the friends can come back to the neighborhood. Amanda, though, she seems unfazed. Now, all of this alone doesn't prove that Amanda is somehow making a bunch of kids go missing, but I would tell you to pay close attention to the ending credits of that VHS tape. After most of the tapes that we play through, we're met with a credits sequence and ending sting for the company that made the show, Hamlin Entertainment. This is the production company that makes the Amanda the Adventurer show, but their name and their mouse logo immediately reminded me of something.
Follow us to fun. So it's like a Pied Piper situation.
Oh,
Hamlin! Hamlin! And it's a mouse!
Yes?
Sorry?
If you, like Ash, don't know what's going on, this whole
Yo, hi Ash, same situation. I don't know.
whole thing's one big reference to the story of the Pied Piper. Basically, this fairy tale is the story of the town of Hamlin. See, there's the name right there. It's overrun by rats, and there's your logo. And so the town hires the Pied Piper to play his magic pipe to get rid of those rats. And he does exactly that. He plays a song that lures all the rats to him, where he then leads them down to the local river to drown themselves. However, when the town of Hamlin doesn't pay him for his services, he once again uses his pipe. But this time he plays a song that leads all the children out of town. He marches them all over to a local cave where they're never seen again. This story seems to match the idea
That's
that
dark.
the neighborhood is now missing all of Wooly's friends. Amanda is essentially our Pied Piper, and we actually see this firsthand through one of the game's secret tapes that you can unlock. Instead of our usual CGI Amanda and Wooly adventure, we actually get ourselves a home videotape of a girl named Lauren on her birthday. She's sitting there glaring at the TV, transfixed, much like we heard about in that note from Joanne at the beginning of the game. Her parents are trying to get her attention, telling her that they have her favorite ice cream ready, mint chocolate chip, which, whose favorite flavor is mint chocolate chip? I mean, it's good, don't get me wrong, but favorite flavor? Flavor preferences
Come
aside, the
on.
parents go back up to try and convince Lauren to come down the stairs, but suddenly, she's gone, with the front door of the house left wide open. As they run out of the house to look for her, the last thing that we hear is Amanda from the TV saying, "I love mint chocolate chip." Somehow, Amanda is able to listen through the TV, and she's somehow lured Lauren, who's literally walked out the door and disappeared, just like the children of Hamlin.
Wow, that's dark. Very dark.
As you watch more of these secret tapes, we actually get to see a little bit more insight into Hamlin Entertainment and the history of the show. In one of the tapes, we actually meet the creator of the series, Sam Colton, and we hear about how he started the show as a small live-action production after being inspired by his adopted daughter, Rebecca.
Did you even imagine that would be such a big sensation?
Honestly, Sadie, no. It was a total surprise. I mean, it's scrappy at best. You know how it is when you have a big idea and a little budget. But really, it's all Rebecca. As soon as I met my beautiful daughter, the inspiration was there. You know, she was so young when I adopted her. And despite what she's gone through, she's always seen the world with such kindness and joy.
You actually find a newspaper clipping on the conspiracy
Aw.
board in the
That's so heartwarming. So nice. Great job. Thank you.
attic during the time puzzle, which has an interview with Sam, where he says this, quote, "We may not have the budget for a big production, but I truly believe there is a soul that transcends that." Woo, woo, keyword alert, keyword alert.
Oh, soul. My bad.
Anytime an indie horror game mentions the word soul, you know that things are gonna end badly. And sadly, my suspicions were correct here. In the VHS tape, Oh No Accidents, there's a flash frame that reveals a credit for a chief neurosurgical expert, which at first glance would make you go, why does a kid's show need that? But Amanda eventually answers that exact question for us in the tape, Everything Rots.
Sometimes I feel myself rotting, but it feels far away.
If she can feel her own body rotting far away, that means that Amanda has a physical body outside of the show. And who else is that gonna be but the girl that played Amanda in the original live-action production, Rebecca. I suspect that this chief neurosurgical expert has figured out a way to put her mind, her consciousness into the series, literally becoming the soul of the show. She still does have some sort of link to her body, able to feel it rotting, but clearly that's not supposed to exist, as the tape distorts anytime she thinks about it. There is good news though. While her body may be rotting, clearly there's still a chance to save her. In the final tape, we see Amanda playing alone on a couch, drawing with crayons and asking if we can share secrets. If we say yes, the TV audio effects disappear, and clear as day, she tells us,
I'm out there. Somewhere.
Rebecca is alive. Sure, her body might slowly be atrophying and her mind might be separated from her body, but there is still time to save her.
She's
That
trapped.
said, we're gonna have to face the evil that's up ahead if we hope to do it. What is that evil? Ask yourself this. Why would Sam, Rebecca's seemingly loving adopted father, do this to her? Was it just to make the show more popular? Did he need to gather more children to him like the Pied Piper? I know we talk a lot about awful father figures across the various series that we cover on the show, but I was hoping that maybe, just maybe, this one would be a little bit different. Thankfully, it is. The Indian horror gods heard my plea with this one because it turns out that Sam isn't the one at fault here. He is no longer the one steering the ship. Yes, Amanda the Adventurer was his live-action production, but he sold it to Hamlin Entertainment. Hamlin is a third party that actually bought out the rights to the show and turned it into an animated adventure.
Last year, Hamlin Entertainment purchased rights to the live-action program starring Colton's daughter Rebecca. As budget and production value increased, Hamlin reimagined the show as an animated series, planning to syndicate the program nationally.
Well, this sounded like everything that Sam wanted on paper. In practice, he started to feel more and more uncomfortable with how the production was being run. In the green tape, we actually listened to a recording session. There, we hear Rebecca saying a handful of what seemed like random phrases.
Rebecca, that was great. Let's move on to the next one.
Pie man,
What's that?
What is this?
It sounds
What
weird.
is she reading? Just a few simple words. This script is specifically tuned to train the technology's dynamic voice reaction. The what? I want this
What?
to stop. Sam, why don't you take a walk for a few minutes?
The person directing claims that this is to train the technology's
What?
dynamic voice reactions, which is plausible, I suppose, given the rise in AI voices that we see all over the internet. However, this series, Amanda the Adventurer, is set in the early 2000s. Technology was not that advanced back then, so Sam is right to be suspicious of it all. And then Rebecca says this.
No, I don't want to do that.
Rebecca, what's wrong? Who are you talking to?
The man in the headphones.
This ends the session, but listen again to those phrases that Rebecca was saying earlier.
It sounds weird. Very random.
At first, they seem to be phrases that could be used in pretty much any episode. Ba lamb for when they go to the farm, pie man for when they go to a bakery or bake some pies like they do in the first VHS tape. So what's the big deal here? Well, what if I told you that these phrases actually have a secondary meaning? All three of them, Bael, Pie Man, and Ba lamb, are phonetic ways of pronouncing the names Bael, Paimon, and Balaam. Three
I don't
king
understand.
demons from the Ars Goetia. Chanting the names of demons has always been part of summoning rituals, especially when you're talking about these sorts of things in pop culture contexts, and that's exactly what Hamlin's trying to do here. Why else would there be a containment specialist that's listed in the credits of the initial Neighborhood video? After chanting the words, Rebecca hears the voice of a man in her headphones, one of these demon kings, all of whom are described as having a hoarse voice. While all of these demons are certainly different, they do share a couple of similarities. They all control large legions of lesser demons. They're all able to inform or give the gift of knowledge. But most importantly, they all require hosts to manifest. And you
Wow, that's wicked. Very evil. What?
Usually this involves children, either as sacrifices or to physically be the host. That is what Hamlin are doing here. They needed Rebecca and the other children to become hosts and sacrifices in order to summon these demon kings and gain their knowledge and power. These children would be led to the slaughter, which is why no matter what location you pick, it always leads you back to the butcher. The eyes on those meat products aren't just a cute aesthetic choice, my friends. Those are past victims, past children that have been led to the chopping block. However, there was one thing that stood in Hamlin's way: Rebecca's father, Sam. I would suspect after this sort of incident, he wanted to pull Rebecca from the show, maybe even find a way to pull the rights entirely. And so, as most of these evil companies tend to do, they made him disappear.
It's been 3 weeks since local television producer Sam Colton was reported missing, and authorities still have no leads.
Sam was so happy with the idea that his show could be a bigger success that, much like the fox in the video Everything Rots, he wasn't killed by a knife, he wasn't killed by a gun, he was instead lured in by Hamlin using sweet berries. The sweet lies that would convince him that they would turn his show into something bigger. But instead, it was all a big trap. A trap created by the very people that swore to help him. And then, with Sam out of the picture, Rebecca is all alone. They can get her to sign along the dotted line and do whatever they want with her, trapping her in the Hamlin facility, just like the lonely kitten that Amanda so desperately asks us to help.
Kitten is alone. There is no one to help her. Will you help the lonely kitten? Won't you help the lonely kitten? Won't you help the lonely kitten? Won't you help the lonely kitten?
However, unlike silly Mr. Fox, I don't think that this was the end for
Okay, that felt weird. That honestly felt very weird.
Sam. I suspect that he's still around, keeping a close eye on things and trying to take him down from the inside. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that Sam is the real identity of Wooly. Wooly spends the entirety of the game trying to keep Amanda on track. When she begins to discuss topics that aren't appropriate for a kid's show, like death or rotting, Wooly is very quick to interject. He tries to get Amanda back on the good and wholesome path.
Men can die if they don't get enough light or water, or if they get a disease.
Let's go back to our nice picnic. Amanda, nothing is rotten here.
What do you think? Do you think that everything rots?
Of course not, Amanda.
I'm not asking you. Answer my question.
You don't have to answer that.
This strikes me not as the actions of a fellow child, but rather of a parent. We hear a story during one of the secret tapes about how after Sam's disappearance, the show begins to change, starts to talk about inappropriate subjects. This is not the show that Sam built, and he can see that. Wooly doesn't just play the killjoy either. He's also the one that tries to help Amanda by keeping her calm. When Amanda loses control, the monster comes out, and Wooly knows it. So when she starts to forget things or remember the bad stuff that's happened because of her, he desperately tries to make her happy.
I think Amanda is confused. Here's the secret. It's my birthday. Maybe we can help her out.
Sounds to me like the actions of a concerned father. He knows what Amanda is and what'll happen if the monster's let loose, so he steers Amanda and the player towards positive and happy subjects in order to keep that beast at bay. But the monster and Hamlin are fighting back. In their visit to the farm, Wooly is constantly being silenced. Amanda tells him that sheep don't talk, and as we go through, he begins to baa uncontrollably until he becomes another mindless sheep like all the rest, finally falling in line with Hamlin's plan. It's actually pretty diabolical. You're wanting to turn Rebecca into Amanda, so why not test out that mind transfer ability on someone you don't mind accidentally killing if it goes wrong? Notice that it's only once Wooly becomes a true sheep that we see Amanda asking to help the poor and lonely kitten, the kitten that represents her. Now that Sam is gone, she's truly alone, asking for someone, anyone to help her.
It looks like this kitten is in big trouble. It might die before anyone can help it.
But hey, well, Riley really did luck out, just being gifted a house by their aunt. Sadly, we're not all that lucky. We just can't wait around for a property with an attic this large to fall into our laps. Fortunately, you can start saving up today to buy the house of your dreams thanks to today's sponsor, SoFi. Everything costs more these days. Video games, food, that haunted VHS tape of an old nostalgic So it's important to get your money management right, and that is where SoFi comes in to help. They're an all-in-one finance app that can help you with just about anything.
Thank you.
Loans,
Thank you so much.
Investments, anything you'd be able to do with a traditional bank. Steph and I are currently in the process of planning all the trips that we want to take this summer. See our friends out in LA, taking Ollie to see the Mayan temples. We can maybe even visit Tom out in the UK. But all of those flights and Airbnbs are gonna cost a lot of money, especially if we're talking about the peak of summer. But SoFi helped us to figure out where we could save money thanks to their financial planners that you can talk to at no extra cost. That, along with their fantastic app and 7-day-a-week customer service, made it really easy to keep track of our saving goals. Plus, SoFi gives you another helping hand by allowing you to earn up to 4.20% on any savings that you put in. That is a whopping 10 times the national average, which means that in just 5 weeks, you'll be earning more interest than you would in an entire year with other banks. All of that with no account fees and up to $250 when you sign up for direct deposit. And just like the bonus tapes that you find throughout the attic, SoFi has got one more bonus hidden up its sleeve too. SoFi is offering you theorists a chance to win $10,000 if you go down to the description, click the link, and then sign up for a checking and savings account today. And if you want to make it even easier, you can just scan the QR code that you see on screen right now. Don't worry, there's no wrong option here. I'm not going to go all Demon Amanda on you. I totally understand why you might be a bit skeptical of online-only banks, especially when deals like this feel too good to be true. But SoFi is legit. It's a nationally chartered bank, which means they're under the same regulations as brick-and-mortar equivalents. So don't hesitate to take advantage of this awesome deal. Just use the QR code or go to the link, sofi.com/gametheory. That's SOFI.com/GAMETHEORY GAMETHEORY. That is the only way that SoFi is gonna know that you're one of us, and that you deserve to be entered in for your shot at winning that $10,000 cash prize. Thanks again to SoFi for sponsoring this video, and for helping to change one theorist's life with that $10,000 prize, and honestly to changing all the lives of those people who use them to help manage their money smarter. As always, my friends, remember, it's all just a theory. A game theory. I'll see you next week.
Thank you so much. And I hope you find this video quite unique and special. So yeah. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, comment, follow, click the notification bell, and yeah, and hope to see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Sincerely appreciated towards all of you for supporting my video. So yeah, you guys are the best. Thank you. But hey, that's just a theory. Game theory. Thanks for watching. Thank you. And I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you so much. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, comment, follow. So yeah, bye bye. Thank you so much. Subscribe.